Hello, everybody. Welcome to the My Village Well podcast. My name is Michelle Francois Walsh. We're so glad you're here, you guys. I met Amber Blandford after seeing an email with her name on it with the word spiritual intuitive guide. And I was like, what? She was working through the Franciscan Retreat Center, San Damiano. And I thought, finally, my Catholic faith is embracing intuition, something that we all have access to. So Amber is a spiritual intuitive guide. She's like this amazing yoga teacher. She also deals with folks who are walking through trauma. She's sort of a jack of all trades. And so Amber, thank you for saying yes to being here.
Thank you, Michelle. It's always so fun when we connect.
I know. We were talking before we hopped on. I'm like, I feel like I just met you and also like I've known you for a long time. And it's just this kind of comfortable peace that you seem to give people. At least you've given it to me, friend.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Yeah. And so tell us how you stumbled into this kind of work. Like, I know for some people when they're little kids are like, yeah, I knew stuff young, but then it gets hushed, you know. Or were you someone you had an experience and it just kind of opened you up? Can you give us a little background about maybe where you grew up and how you kind of became a spiritual intuitive?
Absolutely. Yes. So one of my first memories is when I was two, maybe two and a quarter. And I remember walking down the hallway at my grandmother's house, and I would see all of these like golden lights that were so intriguing and so interesting to me, and I would just follow them. And by the time I would get to the bathroom, they would disappear. But they look like if you were to like blow on a dandelion and how everything just kind of flies away, right? All the
Yeah.
seeds. It looked like that. It was one of my first memories, and being with her. And she actually died when I was 2.5. So even though I have some rich memories of her, they're from when I was very young. So I would say that's like one of the pieces. And there were a lot of people in my family who happened to die when I was growing up. So extended family,
Mm.
grandparents, and I was there for that. Like I wasn't kept away from the death and dying piece.
Mm.
And I loved it, or not that I even loved it. I just felt comfortable in that setting. And eventually, I went to the Franciscan School of Theology, which was in Berkeley at the time, Berkeley, California, to study death and dying. And I was in my early, maybe mid 20s, 23, 24, when I started that. And now that I'm in my 40s, looking back, I'm like, holy crap, that was amazing that I knew in my early 20s to continue to study death and dying. And so I did, and I loved it. I worked in the hospital, eventually moved to Atlanta, worked in the hospice fields, and really loved that transition from this life to the next, and loved accompanying people, loved accompanying pets. Um, I just kind of assumed that everyone who was in hospice or everyone who was doing this kind of bereavement work was also in communication with the spirits on the other side, or who could see them, could hear them, things like
Right.
that. And quickly I
Mhm.
understood that's not always the case, but also, it didn't really matter. That
Mhm.
that was just kind of a part of me. I've always been fascinated by spirituality, by religions, by different spiritual practices. I started practicing yoga when I was 14. And it's been with me ever since. Taught my first class when I was 17. It's just the
Gosh.
embodied spiritual practice is really important to me. And I
Okay,
love
you have
sharing that with
done
others.
life. You have done life a few times.
A few times, yes.
Because to come in and just be like as a young person, oh yeah, like I'm the thing we all walk away from or we don't pay attention or we don't understand
Mhm.
it and so therefore we fear it and we don't speak about it is death and dying.
Right.
And you're like, let me find out more about that.
Hmm.
Oh, and also, oh, not everybody hears the people and sees the people. Okay, all right. Like it was like God literally prepared you on the other side and was like, okay, so this time you're gonna do the thing that like people need your help.
Well, and I would say from my perspective, I wanted to do it. For me,
Mhm.
there's nothing more real than death. There's nothing more real. Like if you've been in it with people, have gone through your own grief journey, like the rawness, the beauty of death You can't
Mhm.
hide all your funk and all your crazy when
Mhm.
there's sometimes death is crisis, but
Mhm.
it comes out in this beautiful way.
I
And
bet
then,
you have seen some really inexplicable things or things that you're like, wow, I just got to witness this.
yes, there have been so many things. And then in my own journey too, a few years ago, when my mother, father, brother all died within a couple of months, all unrelated. It's just, it blows my mind. One, to know that I walked through that, and of course was in charge of all the funerals and all the planning and all the parties and all of the things, because that's my background. That's what I'm trained in. And that's what everyone looked for me to do. But that was also a gift because I was working through my grief by caring for others and caring for myself.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's really fascinating. It's really amazing. And it's all about trusting yourself, trusting those intuitive nudges, trusting,
Mm.
like, just trusting all of it. I remember when my mom was diagnosed, the doctor had said, this cancer, it's really, really slow growing, and
Mhm.
pretty much everyone beats it. And I knew it was going to kill her. And I said, okay, I hear that and I respect that. And
Mhm.
also, if it were to kill her, how much time does she have?
Mhm.
And they're like, that's not an issue here. I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But if it were, can you
Mhm.
tell me? And they're like, no, we can't tell you because we expect her to recover fully.
Mm.
And so I just said, okay, that's fine. Um, I'm going to listen to my own inner knowing.
Mm.
And my own inner knowing said, we don't know how much longer she has, but this will be her last. This is it.
That's it.
And so then I directed my life towards that and stayed with her a week, a month, each month until she died.
So
And she had 6 months from that day when she was diagnosed.
I had a similar, I mean, it's like before I knew it, I was in the car driving, and
Hmm.
the biopsy hadn't even come back yet, but I was there in the kitchen when the phone call came and the biopsy results came through and I knew, like you knew, you're all, yeah, yeah, nice chatter. How long?
Hmm.
I knew my only role for my mom was to make it okay. Like, was to make all of these mm, things we don't talk about,
Hmm.
okay. And if I could make her laugh at the absurdity of it
Hmm.
and the just total craziness of it, that was like bonus points. So yeah, following the intuitive nudge of just not understanding why.
Hmm.
We don't have to understand why.
No, you need the what, not the why. If you have the what, that's enough. Just follow the what. What's next? What's the next right step? And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be just with death and dying, right? I just happen to have had a lot of experience in that department, but it can be with anything. It can be with food or who you're going to hang out with on the weekend or where are you going to vacation or where is your kid going to preschool? You know, it can be as big or as little. It doesn't matter, but there's always an internal response. Always. If you just close your eyes, go within and open.
Mm-hmm.
Always. It's there. We may ignore it, we may shoo it away, we may not trust it, but it's still there. You're born with it, just like with eyes and ears and hands, it's in you.
Right. It's in you. It's so funny. I have all these kids, right? Some of them believe and some of them don't. And I'm like, it's okay that you don't believe. God is still inside of you. I don't say it. But I'm
Yeah,
like, but you were like divinely knit. Like the fact that you're here is a miracle. The fact that any of us are here is a miracle. And
that's
then
pretty cool.
to get these, the veil, like when you were talking about when you were two and you're, going down the hallway. The veil is so thin. You just
Mm-hmm.
came. You just came. You're like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yes, you guys. And then the longer we're here, it can get a little heavier, a little more difficult. And so
There's more
with
resistance built up, right? More
there's some more
programming,
resistance.
more social. Yeah.
So how do we get back to it, Amber? How do we
Mm,
get back to
beautiful.
remembering like where we came from and who we are and why we're here? And it's not to pay the fucking mortgage and get more milk. Like, how do we get
Mm.
back to it? What would you say? It's kind of a big question.
Yeah, well, one, I would say you're not apart from it.
Ah,
You are it. It is you. It is here. Just like you're not apart from your heart or your mind,
mm-hmm,
it's here. So
mm-hmm.
all you have to do is close your eyes or gaze down at the floor, take a few deep breaths, and breathe. Inhaling slowly and deeply, and exhaling slowly and deeply. And just feel the centeredness that is in you. And if it doesn't feel centered, maybe go for a walk or a bike ride or take a shower, get some movement. We are in these physical bodies.
Hmm.
Move the stress out and then return to the deep breathing. Even if you try it for 2 minutes a day, it will change your life.
Oh my gosh, two
This
minutes
breath,
a
this
day.
moment, coming into the present will help it all be okay. Because as we take this breath, everything is okay in that breath. It's only when I get caught up in what does my future hold or what did
Mm,
I experience in my past.
mm,
That's what brings the tension, the pain, the frustration, the dis-ease, the discomfort. But if I
mm-hmm.
can stay in this precious present moment, I'm okay. I'm okay. Another thing that I would say besides the deep breathing and meditation practice is to have a lot of fun. Because when you're having a lot of fun, you don't care what happened when you were 8 or what your son's girlfriend thinks about you. You don't care. You're just having fun. So have more fun.
Oh
Just
my
have more
God.
fun for fun's sake, not because you want to manifest better, not because you're hoping it brings you more money, not because anything else.
I
No
know.
attachment, no agenda, just fun for fun's sake.
Fun for fun's sake. I am a
Yes.
big freaking believer in that.
Yes.
Huge. We forget to play. We forget to
Yes.
fun. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's why one of the reasons why I started incorporating like dress up themes into retreats. Oh, forget it. This last one, the women, it was like a 70s theme or whatever. Oh my God, on the beach with the drum, flowy dresses, dancing, walking towards the water, the sun. I mean, I wept after because I was like,
Mm,
this is who we were created to be. We forget.
we forget.
No, we
Yeah.
forget. And
We're
so,
allowed to have fun. Yes.
what do you do for fun? What would you
Oh my
say?
gosh.
Like, yeah, I'm curious.
What do I do for fun? Well, one of the things that's quick and easy for me to do for fun is dance. I've
Oh,
always loved dance, 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 dance. Any kind, anywhere. I'll do it. I'll try it. I am down. So I try to make sure that I have specific dance times, whether that's a dance fitness class or I take a lot of East Coast swing dances and Balboa.
oh my
Right now,
gosh.
I'm doing a lot of that, so I make sure I do that 2 or 3 times a week. So that's kind of this sanctuary time for me, just to go
Yeah.
dance and move and play. And
Yeah.
then also, if I feel something in my body and I don't know what it is, or I feel an emotion and I want to move it, or if I feel like and I'm kind of moving around right now, just like letting
Mm-hmm,
it move and process through me, whatever the it is, helps me
mm-hmm.
to release and have more fun too. So I would say dance
Absolutely.
is quick and easy and fun. And also just being silly, being random. Like I have some friends who are really random, really goofy, and weird. I like weird. It's just fun. Like I have some people I know I can just text the most random things to and they will laugh or they were like, yes, something similar happened to me. Just that kind of lightheartedness is good.
Yes, we need it. And I would say probably too with the work that you do, you're dealing a lot with people's emotions and
Hmm.
their feelings, and you're kind of being a lamplighter, you're helping them walk through. Is there anything you could recommend for like you know, protection as far as like, this is my bubble and that's your bubble. And sometimes if we're not aware, we can walk away from time with someone and be like, oh man, I'm kind of in a funk. Or, oh, by the same token, we can feel elevated and lifted if someone's
Mm-hmm.
energy is hot, vibing high. And
Mm-hmm.
so would you say there are any regular like grooming methods that you utilize to keep a clean aura?
Sure. Yeah. So one of the quickest, easiest ones to do is something called ground clear protect. So
Mm,
the step one is to ground, like imagine yourself like a tree and that your roots either coming out of your spine or out of your feet grow deep, 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 deep into the earth. And as
mm,
you inhale, allow the energy, nourishment, and whatever you need to come up through your root system. And as you
mm,
exhale, just let go of anything that's not yours, any worry, fear, anxiety, other people's energy, other people's expectations, opinions, their funkiness, whatever it is, just goes down on the exhale where it's transformed into the earth, and then inhale brings it up. That's step one. That's the ground. The next step is the clear. So what I do is imagine this big light above me, just like I was taking a shower, but it's all light, and just allow the light to cover you completely. So again, anything that's funky or has irritated you can just fall away and fall off into the earth.
mm,
And then
mm.
finally, I do a protective shield around me at times. This is really rare that I actually need to do this, but at the beginning I did because I was more sensitive and more tuned in about the other person than I was myself.
I got you. I
And
understand that.
there was a lot more
I understand.
merging. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
But ground clear protect can really help. So in the protection zone, you're just imagining a bubble. Some people imagine an egg where you can see through and see out, but nothing can come in that's not yours. And then
Love
because
that.
you've grounded and you've cleared already, you're kind of already in this beautiful energetic bubble that's just for you and you can enjoy it.
Love that. Thank you for that very practical and doable exercise.
Mhm.
Um, and I love just even the ground clear protect. I wrote it down. Um, okay. So if folks want to get their paws on you, I know that you do some regular like full moon answers and this type of thing. You have an intuitive membership. Can you tell us um, what you are working on right now? What's bringing you some excitement that you're
Yes.
offering to people?
Yeah, thank you. So Full Moon Answers is just a super fun class that I offer on either on every full moon, but sometimes it's a day before or a day after, depending on when it falls. And
Hmm.
it's a great time for you to come in. We do a little bit of guided meditation. We do what I call full moon answers. So everyone can ask me a question and I will receive the answer for you and offer it to you. And sometimes I pull cards with that as well. And then we always close with gratitude. So that's on every full moon. And then I have these wonderful new intuitive memberships, which are really a spiritual journey to activate and affirm your own inner wisdom.
Mm,
There are three different tiers. The Gather tier includes the full moon answers. It includes something I call the intuitive playground, which is just a really fun time to practice a new intuitive skill that I
hmm.
teach. And every month is a different theme, plus a video meditation. So I find that people can use meditation as a support system to themselves when they're feeling funky or overwhelmed, or even
Hmm.
if they're trying to be able to gain access to their inner wisdom more
Hmm.
clearly. Meditation helps. So you get all of that in the Gather package. The Grow is in the middle, so you get all of those benefits plus a one-on-one with me and three $7 questions, which are an opportunity for you to text me any question that you have. I will receive the answer, give it to you, and then also pull a card for you for confirmation. And
Cool.
then the Glow membership is an opportunity for you to receive all of those things plus two sessions with me and five $7 questions. And you can use those $7 questions for yourself or for your friends or loved ones. And in addition, you get weekly texted affirmations for you to practice. So it's just a ton of information, a ton of support to help you in whatever you're going through. And this is really good if you're trying to listen to yourself, if you're going through a transition, if
Hmm.
you want to be able to trust yourself a little bit more, but you just don't know how. These
Yep.
memberships are designed for that.
I love that. I love the part that it's like part you. I think sometimes what happens as humans is we're like, help me now, fix me, like make it better. And you're all, guess what? You need to go meditate. Like, you know what I mean? Because otherwise we're
Sure.
always going to be dependent on someone else. We
Yeah.
have it. You said we are it. Thank you for that beautiful
Mhm.
reminder. And we need teachers like you to kind of help get us there. And so it's this beautiful support system of like meeting someone where they are. So grateful that you're bringing that work to the world to help us tune in to our own divine good stuff. Yeah. And you have generously offered to anyone who's listening. You are offering like a little manifesting PDF, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So 3 steps on how to manifest anything.
Perfect. Well, hey, there's that.
Yeah.
You called me the other day. You're like, Michelle, are you focusing on abundance? I'm all, no, but I'll start doing that more. Called out.
Yes. Sometimes when people come into my aura and come into my space, I start getting more and more for
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that
I,
happens to me all the time
I appreciate
for my
that.
people. I'm like, hey, what are you doing?
Hey, tune up. What are
Yeah.
you doing? No, I
Right.
appreciate that, because we're humans and I can be real honest and say, yeah, part of the abundance fear is, will I be ready? Am I ready? Yes, girl, you
Hmm.
are. God has your back. What are you ready? Yes,
Right.
get out of your own way.
If you're already thinking of it, there's a good chance you're ready. You wouldn't be having the thoughts and the premonitions and the insights around it if you weren't ready. It wouldn't even be anywhere in your mind.
I know, I know. And we say, who am I? I don't know. Who are you not to be? It's you,
Yeah.
right? And so thank you. Thank you for the reminder. I'm so appreciative.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
You guys, Amber Blandford, get your paws on this beautiful human. She's doing such good work in the world. And we're so glad that you popped in today to listen to the podcast. And we are wishing you only the best. May your path be blessed. Ooh, may you remember that you are love, that you come from that love, that you were knit from that love. And we love you. And we'll talk to you soon.